With the impending eventual, at some point, release of Gotham Knights, I wanted to take a look at all of the characters and costumes that I wanted to see for each of them, both from the comics and other supplementary materials and different types of media. We've already gone through Batgirl and Red Hood. Now we are on to our boy, Dick Grayson. The first costume that we've already seen revealed so far in the character breakdown is really neat. We've covered that before as well. I really like it, but there's plenty of room for more stuff shown here. So if you enjoy this, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content, and let's hop right into it. Number 5. The first costume I want to see is actually a really old one. This is from Nightwing's first appearance, Dick Grayson's Nightwing's first appearance, I should say, not the Kryptonian Nightwing, but that is the disco suit. Now, this is a suit that is very polarizing. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it, and a lot of people love to hate it. I'm kind of in the middle on this one. I really think it's fun. It definitely fits the era of the Teen Titans that it debuted in, but it's definitely not modern. What I think is fun about this suit is just how cartoonish and outlandish it is, and how out of place it would be in a lot of different ways. It's very light blue with dark blue, obviously, as well, taking up the majority of the body, along with yellow tassel-like looking designs around his torso and his shoulders, and also down around his midriff. I've always really liked this suit just because of how crazy it is. You know, this is one of those suits that when I see it, or when I see modernizations of it, I don't take it seriously, but I also don't think it makes Nightwing out to be a joke. I just think it is so cartoonish that it's really fun, and it would be neat to see something like this in the game, to just kind of see a fun levity to the character as an alternate costume choice. Obviously, I wouldn't go for this for his main look, which, like we've already seen, it won't be, but, you know, fun alternative choice. I think it fits that very well. Number 4. It's the fourth one.
4.
The next one I want to talk about is the DC animated movie universe, Teen Titans The Judas Contract costume. Now that's a mouthful. I am not the biggest red Nightwing fan. You know, I really think Nightwing in blue and black and blue and light blue, I think that fits him very well. One thing I do like about red and black Nightwing is the dynamic it has with his old Robin suit, sort of some similarities there, but I will say I like the look of it in the Judas Contract animated movie. Now, this movie is a few years old at this point. If you haven't seen it, I actually think it's one of the best DC animated movie universe movies. I really liked it, but the suit is very sleek. It has a belt with pockets almost built in directly to the suit. It's essentially just pockets for gadgets built in without a noticeable belt. Also, it does have the red bird-like emblem connected down his arms all the way into his hands, which I think fits this version of the character very well. While I wasn't a huge fan of how they portrayed Dick Grayson in the DC animated movie universe, hard to say that, I always think DCAU, but while I wasn't a fan of how he was always portrayed here, with him usually getting his butt kicked and getting hurt in some way, I really liked him in this movie, and I like this design for him. It is very sleek. It's more of a bodysuit type thing. It really does fit an acrobat, and I think it fits into that universe and would be very easy to include in Gotham Knights as well. Plus, it's, you know, more of a mixture between classic Nightwing and the modern red that we kind of see, I guess, character designs keep going back and forth between the blue and the red. So I definitely want to see it. Let's just maybe keep Agent of Spiral out of this one. Number 3. This next suit is the one I expect to see the least, but it definitely would be one of the most imaginative suits, and that is Nightwing as Deadman, Dick Grayson's Deadman from Injustice. Now, while we don't actually get to see him in the game as Deadman, basically what happened is he had one of the worst character deaths of all time, but it was slightly redeemed in the comics by bringing him back as Deadman, as the new Deadman. I really like this suit because it is very Nightwing, obviously, but also Deadman. I mean, this is not a complex concept. It's essentially the Nightwing costume with a D on the chest. No, not that kind of D, the letter D. Unless you're really into Nightwing and you're, doing stuff on your own screen. I can't speak for you. I can speak for me. But one of the things I like about this is that it's not just a pale blue look for his bodysuit, but also for every part of him. You know, you have almost a white bird emblem on and across the chest that goes up into his shoulders. You have exposed hands with this suit that you can actually see, something that these suits obviously go back and forth on as well. And I do like the bluish, pale blue, almost Force Ghost looking skin hue that they go with for the character's skin. Again, this is something that I could see it very easily being in the game in terms of its incorporation. I highly doubt it will be, just because with the gear system and everything that they're likely going with this, and some of the customization we've seen so far, I don't know how many full-on skins there will be compared to gear pieces, etc., until we start to see more of that. But I think it's very fun and a unique suit that stands out. You know, one of the best things that I've always really liked about these superhero games is that they give you the ability to usually customize the hero in a way you want them to be, while still maintaining the identity of that hero. It's something that Arkham was really good at with all of its character costumes. It's something that I think Injustice 2 was really good at with its gear costume, or gear system for costumes. And it's something that I think Marvel's Spider-Man was great at. So I'm really hoping Gotham Knights will be just as good. And I think the Deadman suit would be imaginative enough to really flesh that concept out. Number two, the numero dos. The next suit I need to make a clarification on, that's that this is the Arkham City suit, but in Arkham Knight for Nightwing. Now that might seem like semantics, so well, what's the difference? There actually are some clarified textures and differences in its actual, I guess I'd say detailing, especially in the chest piece and in the legs with some of the materials. So it does make a difference here, but essentially they are the same suit. This is just a clarified version of the original. Now with moderately short hair, a very batarang/birdarang looking mask that is very pointy, and an almost rubbery metallic feel to the suit. I've always really liked this suit in particular. I know it's a little bit divisive amongst fans, and the bird is almost more abstract on the chest. It's not really a bird as much as it is a triangle or a boomerang shape. But again, I think it would be neat to see that actually show up in the game. The arm pieces are very unique as well, as the bird-ish boomerang actually flows well into the shoulders and the arm pieces, and it goes around the back like classic Nightwing, with the back looking more like a bird than the front. But one thing I really like about this is that you can tell it's almost ballistic armor, but it is skin tight. It's rubberized armor. It looks very, very much like something that would fit a, I would say, athletic and flexible character like Dick Grayson is. And I think it's neat how the bluish, I guess you would say, emblem flows all the way down the arms into some of his fingers as well, and how it matches up with his Eskrima sticks. I've always really liked this look. I think that it's fun, and I think it would be a fun little throwback to see it in the game. But of course, like I've said in previous ones, I kind of want to see the Arkham suits for everybody, because I just really like the designs from that game in general, that game series. Number one!
Splat.
The final one is the Titans show. Now, I am not the biggest Titans show person. I've probably made that very clear on this channel, but I will say I really like certain character designs, Dick Grayson's character design being one of them. I really like how he looked as Robin, and I really like their version of Nightwing as well. It's very armored, but still close enough to the body that it does maintain that athletic and acrobatic feel. And I really appreciate how the emblem has almost a glow to it. It's almost a mixture of a pale blue and a navy blue together to brighten up that blue. It looks very good in different lightings in the show. And it's unique as well because it's not really focused on flowing the emblem into every part of the suit. This suit is mainly a black armor bodysuit, with the emblem on the chest flowing into the shoulders mainly as the distinguishing feature. It allows him to sort of blend into different environments, but also you can look at this dude and tell how he could take a hit, or how a bullet could bounce off of him, as we've seen happen in the Titans show before. I really like this suit. It's sort of a more, I almost think it even looks slightly more comic book inspired than the one that we see as the main reveal character analysis breakdown for Nightwing that we saw on Twitter and in our places that we talked about, just because it is so simple. This is probably the closest you can get to the classic black and blue fabric look for Nightwing that a lot of us have come to know and love from things like the DCAU and a lot of years of comics, without it looking very vulnerable, right? I think a lot of times in comics, concessions are made, especially with these more athletic and flexible characters, that they'll be able to move out of the way of bullets, and I'm not saying that's not possible, but one thing that I really like about this suit is that it maintains that athleticism, like I said, while looking like it could actually take a hit from a knife or a gun without Dick Grayson just instantly dying or ending up in the ICU. I really like how this looks, and I also think in different lightings, like I said, it looks very good. We've seen lighting where it looks more blue all over because of the way it reflects light, and also at night and in the dark it's much more black with the bluish emblem standing out as a primary distinction of the costume. It's a really cool, I guess, costume design that I always appreciated. Even I think people who don't like the show could really learn to appreciate how Dick looks in this show, and how this would actually fit in very well with the aesthetics of the game. So these are my 5 costumes that I really want to see in Gotham Knights for Dick Grayson. Maybe in the future I'll do another one, I'm not sure, but I think the last person we have to cover is Robin, which is going to obviously be Tim Drake, although he looks weirdly like Damian Wayne, so that will be an interesting one to talk about. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you have any other suggestions for Nightwing costumes? Do you have any suggestions for any other costumes that you want to see in this game when it eventually comes up? And also, do you actually think it will be full costumes, or do you think that from the character breakdowns and stuff like that we've seen so far, this will be more of an Injustice gear system where you just get a piece at a time only and we won't see full cosmetic skins? I know there's been a lot of information on Gotham Knights back and forth on certain elements of the game, so I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that and what you'd prefer to see. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please, as always, check out the links in the description. Secondary channel Degenerate Plays, where we play through a ton of different games together. Made a third channel, Fiction Fringe, where we're going to be covering character analysis type stuff with different characters using music, so that's going to be fun. And I hope you have a fantastic day. As always, everyone, stay shway.